Jinwoo saved the entire world. He defeated gods. He rewound time. He became the Shadow Monarch, the single most powerful being to ever walk the earth. And then, he left. Not dead, not defeated. He just walked away from his wife, from his home, and from his 5-year-old son, and never came back. That son grew up being bullied in school, alone, abandoned. Everyone knew whose kid he was, and nobody let him forget it. The boy with the famous father who didn't want him. His name is Suho. And this is where the real story begins. Act 1. The Weight of a Name. Visuals, city skylines, gates in the sky, hunters, then school hallways. To understand Ragnarok, you need to understand what solo leveling built and what it left behind. After Jinwoo rewound time using the Cup of Reincarnation, the world was saved, rebuilt. Humanity remembered the horror of the gates, the shadows, the war, but they also remembered who stopped it. Jinwoo wasn't just a hero, he was a symbol. His name was taught in schools, his face was on monuments. Parents told their children stories about the Shadow Monarch the same way ancient people told stories about gods. So imagine growing up as that man's son, not in a palace, not with training grounds and tutors and a destiny prepared for you. In a regular school, getting shoved into lockers. Suho didn't have powers, or at least, he didn't know he had them. Jinwoo had sealed them away when Suho was barely old enough to walk. The reason? He was afraid. Not of enemies, not of Suho himself. He was afraid of what would happen if his son awakened too much power before he was ready to carry it. So he made a choice, the same kind of quiet, painful choice that defined his entire journey. He sealed his son's memories, blocked his abilities, and tried to give him something he himself never had, a normal life. It didn't work out the way he planned, something ancient moving through the void. Remember the absolute being? The godlike entity whose death set every event of solo leveling in motion? That being had peers, equals, other cosmic entities from other universes who only just discovered the absolute being was gone. Their name is the Itarim, and unlike the monarchs who wanted to destroy humanity as a side effect of their war, the Itarim want to fill the void, absorb Earth, claim it, rewrite it as their own. Jinwoo found out, and he made another quiet, painful choice. He left Chahaein, left Suho, to fight the Itarim at the source, in outer space, alone if he had to. But before he left, he went to Baru, the Shadow Ant King, and gave him one order. When the time comes, unseal Suho's memories, unlock his powers, train him. The time came faster than anyone expected. Act 2. The Awakening. Suho in school uniform, bullies, he moves too fast, eyes flash purple. Suho was 16 when Baru made contact, and the thing you need to know about Suho is this. Even without his powers unlocked, even suppressed and sealed since he was a toddler, he was different. The way he moved, the way he absorbed hits in fights without going down. His classmates knew he was Jinwoo's son. Some feared him for it. Others tested that fear by making his life miserable, and Suho, trying desperately to be normal, let them. That changed the moment Baru unsealed his memories. It didn't come back gently. It came back like a flood. Fragments of a childhood he'd been allowed to forget. Training drills, the Ant King's enormous shadow looming over a toddler, purple fire in tiny hands. A father's face. A mother he didn't know was missing. And something else came back with the memories. A system. Not exactly the same as his father's, Jinwoo had constructed his own version, a tutorial, and embedded it in Suho like a sealed inheritance waiting for the right moment. dungeon-like environments designed specifically to force Suho to level up through his father's own shadow army, a brutal, personal gauntlet, not just to make him strong, but to make him understand what strength costs. Suho's eyes glow purple when he channels his power. That's his father's bloodline surfacing. The Shadow Monarch, recognizable in his son's face. Suho fighting through the tutorial dungeon, losing, then winning. Here is where Ragnarok starts doing something genuinely interesting. Suho isn't Jinwoo. That sounds obvious, but it matters more than you'd expect. Jinwoo was a loner, cold, methodical, willing to carry every burden himself. Suho is the opposite. Aggressive where his father was patient. Emotional where Jinwoo was calculating. And crucially, he's a team player. He wants allies. He's willing to trust people his father once called enemies. So what does he do? He starts recruiting. The Monarch Successors, one by one, choose Suho. Gray, the Monarch of Fangs. Asil Radiru, the demon princess who guided Jinwoo through the demon castle, now the Monarch of Gluttony. And Amut, crocodile-headed, 3 times the size of a human, ancient monster king, who becomes Suho's trainer. Imagine your personal trainer viewing mercy as an insult. That's Amut. Act 3. The threat arrives. Massive S-rank gate tears open above Seoul. The Itarim's apostles reach Earth. A colossal S-rank gate ruptures above Seoul, the same city that watched Jinwoo become the Shadow Monarch, now watching his son scramble to fill a shadow he barely understands. Thomas Andre arrives with his scavenger guild. The national-level hunter who once fought Jinwoo to a standstill stares at Suho with the polite skepticism of a man deciding whether something is worth crushing. Suho stares back. Neither blinks. The raid goes wrong immediately. Suho's plane is destroyed. He's separated, dropped alone into an S-rank gate interior with no backup. And in the middle of all of it, he finds something he didn't expect. An ice elf. The grandson of Barca, a monster his father fought in one of his earliest battles. This young frost monarch isn't an enemy. He was raised by someone who came from the sky on a dragon and protected the ice elf children. Someone the ice elves call Cha-Cha. Suho hasn't seen his mother in 5 years. He just found out exactly where she's been. Jinwoo is fighting a war in space nobody on Earth can see. Cha Hae-in is trapped in an interdimensional pocket raising monster children. And Suho, 21 years old, sealed powers, training regiment designed by a crocodile god, is the only thing between Earth and cosmic obliteration. He's not the Shadow Monarch. He's not his father. The web novel calls him something different. The Monarch of Transcendence. Guardian of the World Tree. Something the universe hasn't seen yet. And the manhwa adaptation? It's barely started. Every major battle still to come in the art. We are getting in on the ground floor of something enormous. Next Gate Scroll video, Suho's fight inside the S-rank gate, the moment he stops being Jinwoo's son in anyone else's eyes. Plus, Thomas Andre's full role explained. Subscribe. New recap every day. Comment below. Will Suho surpass Jinwoo, or is his father still untouchable? I'll see you in the next gate.